Shopping for fish on the Tinder app, bad move. Shopping for fish on the Tovala app, good move. Let's check it out. What's up guys, it's your boy Jason Keyz. Today we are going to be looking at Tovala's premium options. I've been doing this for a few weeks now. I've literally been enjoying them every week. We didn't make a video of it, but I figured let's just go ahead and rock one out today. This is part of their new premium fish line. Salmon's always been one of the options that you can pick every week with your Tovala meals for as little as $12. They recently added options for some premium fish options, and we have one in front of us today, which is a trout option. It's like $3.99 more, bringing your total meal cost to $15.99. Let's just call it 16, right? And I've been using these for a few weeks, the different recipes, they keep changing around, and I gotta tell you, at first it was like $4 more for what you otherwise include for free, meaning you could get a salmon option, which to me is equivalent in taste, texture, and the amount of protein that you get, right? This is the piece of trout that comes with it, vacuum sealed separately. But I've been enjoying them, pistachio crusted, almond crusted like we have here today. The quality of the upcharge ingredients it's just, you get your money's worth. So without further ado, we're going to actually prepare this, cook it, show you what's in it, and taste test this particular one. This one is the Almond-Crusted Steelhead Trout with spinach, currant, quinoa, and maple Dijon drizzle. Definitely chef crafted, all the Tovala recipes. Let's open this one up. This one is a 510 calorie meal, 22 grams of fat, 39 grams of protein, and 40 grams of carbs. So like, definitely not for somebody who's looking to cut carbs or anything out of life, but from a well-balanced perspective, 22 grams of fat with 40 grams of carbs and close to 40 grams of protein is a pretty well-balanced meal actually. It actually hits my fitness goals and limits right now that I am working to achieve. Here is your quinoa mixture there. This is your almond-crusted topping. Looks like it might have some parsley or something in there. And they give you a nice, really a good serving of all these nut crustings that you get, whether it's the pistachio one or the almond one. They always pack it in, and when we put this together in the tray, you're gonna see it covers and coats the fish perfectly. Once you hit it in the Tovala oven, I know that this settings are always programmed to do a broil at the very end, which crisps up that topping and just makes it excellent. So we've got some capers in here. And I've mentioned this before in my other Tovala videos. I have a jar of capers that's sitting in either in the refrigerator or the spice cabinet over there that I never use and I will never use, and it's gonna end up going in the trash. Because I used it for one recipe once upon a time, many months ago, or maybe even a year ago. And the good thing about the Tovala meals is like, normally if you're like, I'm gonna make some trout for my family or for my lover, and the recipe calls for capers. You go to the grocery store, $8 for a jar of capers, you use it, one time, the rest goes in the trash, it was a waste. Whereas with Tovala, they'll give you just as much as you need for today's recipe, if you will, right? So that's there. And here is your different sauces that come with this. Let's flip this over one more time to understand. So this is the Dijon mustard. This is going to be something that we spread on the trout, and then we put the almond crusting on it, and the Dijon maple drizzle is what's gonna go at the end to finish it, along with the capers. So, and these are all optional, of course, anything that you finish it with. So the way the Tovala meal works, if you haven't done this before, and by the way, if you're new to Tovala, in the comments below, you will find a link to save $150 off the Tovala oven. This is my favorite smart oven, and I've tested them all. Like literally, look for the links in the comments right now for the June oven, the Anova oven, the Brava oven. We've tested all the competitor smart ovens, and still this one still remains my favorite. I do really like the June, to be honest, but for the price point, like 3 to 4 times, actually 6 times as much if you are comparing it to the discounted price you'll pay when you use the link in the comments. 6 times as much, some of us may not want to spend $900 to $1,000 on an oven. So in this case, getting this guy for like 150 bucks, steal, definitely a steal. So the quinoa currant mixture here, let's peel that plastic off there. And let's get us some scissors here real fast. I like to take the proteins that come wrapped here in the plastic wrap and kind of do a horizontal cut like that. And I can reach in and make sure that I don't drop any of those fish juices, if you will. Now the trout is gonna be the one that has the skin on the bottom, just in case you also had salmon delivered this week with your meal. So always look for that skin on the bottom so you don't confuse your fish proteins there. The recipe then says to spread the Dijon mustard on top of the trout. Again, I like to cut a little triangle off the edge that leaves a very little opening, and it makes it easier to kind of spread the different sauces or whatever you might be doing. In this case, we're gonna go ahead and kind of just put it across the middle, and then I'll spread it with the back of a spoon. That's the easiest way I've found to do things like that. So get that mustard on there. Here we go. And ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. We'll put that over there. All right, back of the spoon, we've got the mustard on there. I like the back of the spoon because it just makes it easier to spread, especially when you have it in the pan like that. Get that sauce spread around. It doesn't need to be perfect, you know, just as long as you have it spread around well enough. We'll set that spoon over there. This is the almond crusted mixture, and we'll use the same spoon over here and basically just shake it off. Don't stress too much if you're doing any of these premium ones and literally it doesn't land on the fish and it lands on the side, because guess what? When this is done cooking, you're gonna scoop it all out of here anyways, and you're going to put it in the plate next to whatever you've got on the side. In this case, like I said, it's that quinoa, and it's gonna all come out. It's gonna all end up in your stomach. So don't worry. Like to get every last bit of that topping in there. And it's super simple like that. We'll throw away the little extra stuff. Again, the capers and the Dijon mustard like drizzle is for later on. We're going to pop these in the oven. Anytime you're doing something in the Tovala and you have a choice on which side to place the trays, and this is like an insider tip because I use this oven all the time. You want to put something on the right-hand side that you want it to get a little more well done, because the heating elements do kind of reside on this side. And I've noticed in the oven that whatever I put on the right-hand side does get an extra bit of char, an extra little bit of heat. So if I'm doing anything with broccoli, for example, I like it when the broccoli has the edges that are like almost burnt, or the Brussels sprouts, for example. So in this case today, I have a choice of the quinoa and the fish. I'm gonna put the fish on the right-hand side. That way the almond crusted topping gets nice and toasty on that right-hand side. So we actually did the flatbread pizza, which let me link to the comments right now. You'll see that pop up over here. The flatbread pizza, if you will, is a new offering by Tovala. It's also one of their new options. It's not premium, it's included, so it's the same $12 meal option. We undid that and cooked that just before we did this one, so you're gonna see that as a separate video, so look for that. But that's the only reason this tray and this foil is here. You usually don't need the tray, so I'm gonna go ahead and set that aside over there. And we're gonna pop the trout in here. I'll put it on the right-hand side, and the quinoa. Grab the menu card that comes with it, and you can also use the Tovala app that you have on your phone. Hit the scan button, put it in front of the scanner. It's gonna load the time, 15 minutes, matches the menu card. Push the start button and walk away. You've got 15 minutes of Tovala time. Go, hang out with your kids, call your mom, call your dad, tell them you love them. Maybe rock out some emails, make some money, do some push-ups. I mean, the choice is yours. Literally, you have 15 minutes of your life that you just got back, and it's the reason I love Tovala meals, is because it's so efficient and it gives me more of my time back, where I'm not sweating in the kitchen, like prepping things and chopping things and shopping for things at the grocery store and wasting all that time, where I can just have these delivered to my door. Super efficient. So we'll come back in like 14 minutes and a few seconds, pull it out of the oven. I'll show you what it looks like and we'll taste test it. So see you soon. All right, we are back. We're down to a couple seconds here. Love the sound of that. That means my food is ready, and every time that means I've got some delicious food on the way. So I kind of haven't been disappointed with the Tovala meal yet. Definitely have my favorites, and there's ones that I don't really necessarily want to order again, but I've never had a bad meal, I'll tell you that. That's truthful there. Let's see here. So our trout looks perfectly done, and our quinoa is ready to go. Let's pull both of those out. I'm telling you, with the fish, if you have notifications, obviously you'll get them on your mobile app, or you hear that beep, pull it out right away. Fish is one of those things, just like a steak, you never want it to be overdone. Now chicken, you can forget about it for an extra minute or two, and it's not gonna kill it, especially the fact that this guy cooks with steam. But I feel like fish is just something that the excessive heat is gonna dry it out over time, so you don't wanna leave it in there. Let's take a look at this trout right here. If you look at the down camera shot, you'll be able to see the tips just got like, you know, browned up a little bit, but everything else is nice and crispy. We'll kind of hit it with the fork, you can see, and that fish should be perfectly done. I'm gonna start with the currant and quinoa just to plate it on there. There's a lot of people in the Tovala community that like are really obsessive about how they plate their food. I love plating my food really nicely. I think you eat with your eyes just as much as you do with your mouth. But in some cases, like, you know, either you're in a rush or you just want to put that food in your mouth, you can make it quick. We'll go ahead and lay this down over here real fast, and maybe kind of make it into like a little bed, and we'll get the trout in the center there. Let's go ahead and grab that. I think this should be cool enough for me to touch right now. Yes, it is. And sometimes you might want to do a little olive oil spray or a little non-stick spray in the bottom, especially with something like this trout, because the skin can stick to the bottom as you're seeing it stick a little bit over here. It's not the end of the world. It just may not come out as beautiful as I would like it to. Oh, there we go. I think we did pretty good. And a little bit that skin got stuck there, and I'm just gonna take this extra almond crusted goodness and sprinkle it all on top. And there we go. We'll set that aside. And let's work on this Dijon maple drizzle. Again, for me, there is a little tear here where you can do it just by hand. I like to take a scissors and cut just the corner tip off.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Just the tips?
And make it really sharp, and that almost creates what you would get from like a squirt bottle or a drizzle, like a sauce bottle, where you can kind of like easily drizzle this over here without having it all in one place. As you can see, that's actually working out perfectly and getting that maple drizzle just to be evenly spread throughout this dish. And voila. I'm not a huge fan of capers, but I think there's just enough here, and I think it'll go good with the recipe. Again, these are chef-crafted recipes, so who am I to question their skills? There you go, capers are on there. And let's do a little close-up. Let me show you how well that fish was prepared. And look, it's actually literally just falling apart here with the fork. I'm just pressing with the back of the fork, and you can see how moist. I mean, look at the reflection on there. It's super moist and perfectly well done. You know, nothing's overdone in this dish. And I gotta imagine it tastes really well. I'm gonna be sharing it with the few people that are here on set with us today, so I'm not gonna dig into it. Actually, you know what, I will, but I just won't stick my fork back into it. So we'll do the first bite taste test right now with some of this, this quinoa. I got some capers in there, got the drizzle, and that perfectly cooked trout. I'll give it a second so I don't burn my mouth. I know I'm hungry, but this is good. Mustard, capers, not my favorite thing from a flavor profile or anything, but this is good. The pistachio crusted one with, I forget what the side was on, I'm trying to remember. The jeweled couscous definitely tops my list. And I know that's coming up again in a couple weeks. I just put it in my upcoming order. This is not horrible. Everybody's, you know, flavor profile is gonna be different. The flavors just work together perfectly. But like I said, the pistachio crusted with the jeweled couscous has to be my favorite so far as these premium fish selections go. Again, just want to make a quick video for you guys that are familiar with the Tovala and thinking about spending that extra $4 on these premium options. I think it's worth it because you get really what would be more of an upscale restaurant item. Something like this, you'd go to a restaurant, you'd pay $30, $40, plus tax and tip, plus drink, plus parking, plus valet, depending on where you live, and do that from the comfort of your own home for like 16 bucks. I mean, literally, I wish Tovala was paying me to say this and do all this stuff, but they're not. There is a referral link in the comments below, so if you don't own one, use the referral link, thank you in advance, and it'll save you 150 bucks, so that's amazing. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you've tried some of the premium options, comment below which one's your favorite. I'll check it out if I haven't tried it. I usually try all of them. And if there's something you want me to make a video of on this channel, comment below with that as well. Aside from that, happy eating, happy Tovala cooking, and if there's another smart device in the market that I haven't tested here that relates to the kitchen or the household or something related to your body, comment below on that one. like, subscribe, ring the bell, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.